From the very moment we enter this world, our mind and heart begin to form according to the experiences we live. Among all these experiences, few wounds run as deeply or shape us as profoundly as the wound left by our father. The way he appeared, whether absent, distant, neglectful, or even overly strict, left an indelible mark on our childhood, and to this day, unconsciously influences everything we do, especially in our romantic relationships. It might seem as if we have left the past behind, but in truth, what remains unhealed in our subconscious keeps resurfacing in every connection we build as adults. For a child, a father means far more than just the man of the house. He is often the first figure of authority, the one who introduces us to the adult world, teaches us what it means to be loved or rejected, shows us what society expects from us to earn acceptance. When that figure is missing or emotionally unavailable, the child grows without a basic foundation of security and direction. In those early years, a part of us breaks off, creating a shadow that follows us, an internal child that carries insecurity and fear of not being worthy of attention or love. These feelings do not vanish over time. They hide in the shadows of our psyche and influence the way we relate to others in adulthood. If you felt overlooked, if you found yourself always striving for approval from your father but never quite succeeding, know that this was not your fault. You simply learned as a child that your value depended on meeting expectations you could not fully understand. You might recognize that even now, you hold on to the idea that your worth comes from proving something to someone else. Perhaps you still find yourself bending over backward to earn recognition, silently hoping for that proud look you so desperately wanted as a little one. This tendency may emerge in your romantic relationships, where you feel compelled to do whatever it takes to keep your partner's attention. Or it might pop up at work, where you push yourself to exhaustion, hoping for a supervisor's approval. Every time someone fails to validate your effort, the trigger of childhood rejection is pulled again, creating frustration and sadness. Healing this father wound begins by acknowledging those patterns and asking yourself, where does this relentless sense of not being good enough come from? Why, when someone praises me, do I feel a wave of discomfort? What roles did I adopt as a child just to be accepted? Each answer you uncover is a clue to that hidden child inside you that needs care and understanding. When you recognize that many of your adult habits were survival strategies for your younger self, you can stop blaming yourself for them. Central to this process is reconnecting with your body. That wound does not exist only in your mind. It lives in every muscle tension you hold, in every shallow breath you take when criticism hits. From the first day you tried to be perfect, your body closed in, bracing for danger. Now healing means befriending your body again, learning to breathe deeply, to stretch away tight shoulders and stiff necks. Aromatic baths, gentle yoga, or even simple mindful walking can help you feel alive in each moment. When your body softens, your mind also begins to loosen its grip on old fears. There is another aspect of this father wound that is rarely addressed. It's hidden. Yes, comfort, because even the pain you know can feel safer than the unknown freedom you crave. The wound gave you an identity. I am the one who must prove himself. And that identity, though painful, has an odd sense of familiarity. Healing calls us to face the unknown of who we might become without that identity. It requires tearing away the thin veil we crafted to keep ourselves safe. That is both terrifying and exhilarating, because it means stepping off a familiar cliff and trusting that your wings are strong enough to carry you. As part of this transformation, allow yourself to feel anger. Far too often, children learn to suppress anger to maintain peace. They choke back words they yearn to say, "This hurts." Yet anger, when expressed healthily and without violence, is a powerful signal that sets vital boundaries. It says, "This is my limit." Holding in anger is like wearing a heavy cloak of shame. Letting it out can bring tremendous relief. So find constructive ways to channel it. Write it, speak it in a quiet voice, even shout into a pillow. Just let that energy move through you without letting it control you. In doing so, you reclaim a bit of the personal strength your younger self felt was lost. Writing and honestly expressing yourself is not about dredging up grievances for their own sake. It is about releasing trapped emotions so you can move forward. When you finally say aloud, "I felt abandoned when I needed him the most," a great weight lifts from your chest. This is no small moment. It is a revolution in your spirit. Once you see this wound in the light of day, rather than letting it fester in the dark, its power begins to wane. You begin to realize that you no longer must remain stuck in patterns of disappointment or insecurity. You're able to stand in your truth and say, "I am no longer at the mercy of that old, painful loop." For many, this wound also creates a constant fear of repeating old mistakes and becoming too much like the very father who hurt them. You may find yourself accidentally echoing his critical words or emulating his distant manner. That reflection can feel like a betrayal, yet it is also a sign that you are ready to choose something different. By noticing, "Yes, I'm repeating that pattern, but I'm going to respond differently," you break free of the script that once held you captive. Remember, forgiving or fixing what happened long ago does not depend on changing your father or proving to anyone else that you've grown. The real shift happens when you decide, "I will no longer give away my power. I will reclaim the love I was denied by caring for myself first." At that point, nothing in the world can take that knowledge away from you. You are complete, despite everything you endured. As you step onto this path of healing, you will also witness changes in your relationships. The people who once reminded you of that old void, partners who ignored you when you needed them most, will stand out in stark relief. You'll discover that those old patterns no longer resonate with your new strength. You will let go of those who cannot honor your boundaries, and you will naturally draw to yourself others who genuinely appreciate you. Love becomes a space for mutual growth instead of a battlefield of what you do or do not earn. This process is hardly linear. There will be days when you feel empowered, confident, and luminous, and other days when the old familiar pain resurfaces, whispering, "You're not safe yet." Embrace those moments as part of the journey rather than as failures. Each time you gently remind yourself of your worth, each time you choose compassion over self-criticism, you move forward a little more. The more often you take those steps, the more that painful inner dialogue fades into the background. Finally, know that this work benefits not only you, but also everyone who comes after you. By healing your father wound, you break the chain of emotional patterns passed down through generations. Your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews will sense the difference. They will learn that it's possible to be loved without having to prove their worth first, that they are inherently deserving of affection. This becomes your greatest legacy, the gift of emotional freedom and the courage to be vulnerable and whole. So I invite you now to look inside, to feel the ache, to allow those tender parts of you to be seen, to give yourself the care you once sought. Understand that healing is not about changing your father. It's about changing how you care for the child you once were. It's about saying each day, "I love you, exactly as you are," to that small child who still lives inside. And yes, it will be uncomfortable at times, but beyond that discomfort lies the profound joy of reclaiming your life. When you finally stand tall, unbound from that old shadow, your world will transform in ways you can scarcely imagine. If this message resonated with you, please share it with someone who may also be carrying a similar wound. Your courage to speak out can offer hope to another soul who is still searching for answers. And if you'd like to dive deeper into this journey, to uncover more truths that challenge you and guide you toward self-discovery, subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell. Here, we speak from the heart and commit to helping one another grow, shine, and live fully. Always remember, these wounds do not define you. They are part of your path, not your prison. By choosing to face them, you turn them into stepping stones toward a life of authenticity, love, and true freedom. The change begins within you. The moment to step forward is now. Take that first step and watch as your life blossoms in unimaginable ways. See you in the next video, and keep shining your light.